think I know what happened. So I was looking at it. Apparently now EVMux allows for you to dual stream for landscape and portrait, but it looks like that was the default.
Interesting.
And I don't have a high enough level for that. Or hello, whoever is actually there. I'm sure people will realize they're in the wrong chat pretty soon. In fact, I'll go over there and double check, make sure that no one else is there. But yeah, we'll just we'll wait for people to walk in or come in, I guess, because I don't fucking know how the hell that shit happened.
Trickling in.
All right, good. Are they?
Couple people.
Okay, yeah, sorry everybody. I don't know what the hell. Apparently it was something. You were there. Yeah, apparently EVMux has not figured out it's stupid, and but we're here now. we're I feel like we just changed the venue last second. We'll just let people kind of trickle in for a second. But how you doing, Bobby? How are you today? With your fine Pride shirt there, and
yeah, that's what it looks like on my newly minted avatar that you made me. It's quite nice, quite fitting for Pride Month.
It does fit. It fits well, unlike my shirt, which does not fit well.
I like that.
Yeah. Let me just make sure that there's no other I'm gonna have to go to my actual channel and make sure that I'm not double streaming right now. I don't have two streams up. It wouldn't be a show without a little technical difficulty.
Every time.
Yeah. No, it's still showing this one, the old one. Hold on. Everyone else. We're gonna redo the stream. Okay. We're gonna delete this one. What the fuck is going on? It's still like showing up. No! Stop being stupid. Okay, that one's live. Go to my... Everyone's watching like technical difficulties the show right now.
We had 3, and now we have 2. We're losing people.
We need to cancel the stream. Oh, here. This one. This is the... Okay, I figured it out. I can erase this one. Delete forever. Get rid of it. Bye. See everybody later.
Here we go.
Other one. You know what I should have did? I should have sent them all over here. I should have did that thing. What do they do it? Raid. I should have raided my own stream. So yeah, let's get the guests in here as my voice cracks. But yeah, I'm not even gonna do intros because there's nobody here to get the intros yet. So it's Review Bomb and Movie Blues. What's up?
Hey.
Howdy.
Oh, okay.
I like the other stream better.
I don't know. Like it basically, I think I'm pretty certain what happened was it was like tried to book 2 streams at the same time, and one launched and the other didn't. And the whole thing got
at the same time.
Yeah, that's what happens. But we're good now, and hopefully everybody figures that out. So how are you guys doing today?
Excellent. Doing good.
Very good. Thank you.
This is actually Review Bomb's 3rd show in a row, so that's pretty good.
True. I'm starting to become malignant, so just be careful.
We are not old. I'm not old. It's like quite literally a new feature that happened on the stream as I was doing it. Like, I didn't even realize that it was a possibility that could happen. Hold on. Luckily, there was only a couple of people in the stream anyway, so hopefully they'll realize what's going on. But yeah, so by a show of not hands, who saw Disclosure Day?
I did.
Bobby,
Disclosure Day fam, rise up!
I have not seen it yet. I'm waiting for Matt to get back from California. Then we're gonna go later in the week.
You guys have some codependence going on.
Yeah, we have to go see movies together. It's just part of the deal.
I guess I'm gonna let Review Bomb and Movie Blues really give us their opinions on Disclosure Day, because I didn't see the movie either when I realized it was 2.5 hours and I didn't have that much time.
I just wasn't that interested. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
don't want
wasn't
to.
really all that interested in it. Like at first I was, and then I slowly became less interested. Hold
Yeah,
on. I'm
that
gonna
happens.
message. I'm gonna actually message the chat, my sorry, the Discord, and be like, hey guys, this is the actual stream. Uh,
Well, I don't want to like outright ruin the movie, so I guess I'm gonna try to do this kind of mostly spoiler free, just to protect the sanctity of Mr. Spielberg's work to the best of my ability. Um, Yeah, Disclosure Day, huh? A lot of polarized reactions to this one. Maybe the most polarizing Spielberg release ever? I'm not really sure. I mean, according to my Facebook, Instagram, and otherwise feeds, everyone either loved this movie or fucking hated it, which is kind of starting to feel like most things these days. But yeah, I just want to try to be honest and not like overly dramatic about it because I'm not making a YouTube video. I can talk like a normal person. I don't need to be like, I absolutely hate it or love this because that's not really how I felt about it. I think that anybody who says that this movie was garbage is just like doing that to achieve the praise of their peers or otherwise, because I just don't see how a person that enjoys movies can't find any, I'm not saying a ton, I'm saying any value in a Steven Spielberg movie about aliens at this point, or just a Steven Spielberg movie in general. Like, I can watch War Horse or the one about the newspaper, and like, I don't give a fuck about those movies, but I'm also like aware of Spielberg's talents and what he can kind of achieve. And I think the main takeaway for me is that it was a mixed bag for sure. And I really think that David Koepp is probably more to blame for the problems in this movie than Steven Spielberg. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, this movie went through 42 drafts. David Koepp, who is probably one of the more important screenwriters of our lifetime, who wrote as many important movies as maybe Spielberg directed, the first Spider-Man, the first Jurassic Park. Clearly, the dude has an incredible pedigree. He has no fucking idea what he's doing at this point. Between this movie and Jurassic World Rebirth, I think that he just needs to stop or just like get help. But I'd say most of the problems that I had with the movie fell with him. And I want to throw it over to somebody else because I'm kind of rambling at this point. But I do want to say that the most important takeaway that I had from this movie is that it really made me realize how much other directors are just bad at what they do. Steven Spielberg, I don't know what it is about him that compels him to want to move the camera in the way that he does. It's very whimsical, it's very fluid, it's very unexpected at times. The dude has an incredible perspective for the visual language of cinema. And anybody who says that this movie was completely worthless, I get it's cool to just absolutely fucking hate everything these days. Surely I do it on my channel plenty. So I'm guilty of those crimes as well. But from a visual standpoint, I think that you can see that there is a master at work. I don't think that Spielberg has lost a step from his 2000s run. I'm not saying this is like he's at the same level he was when he made Close Encounters and Jaws. I'm saying he's pretty much at the same level that he is when he made AI and Minority Report. And those movies aren't great. I mean, they are good. I do enjoy them. But if you rewatch them these days, they're pretty hammy. War of the Worlds is also a deeply flawed movie and is very hammy. But I would argue in all the movies that I'm talking about, there's a deft hand behind the camera. So I really enjoyed the visual aspects of the camera work in this movie, and I really think that there's something to be appreciated there, and it felt really good to watch at points. So that's my biggest positive takeaway is like I think Spielberg is still very unique in the way that he shoots a scene. Like there is a scene in just a motel room in this movie which was shot better than most scenes in most movies, and they didn't leave the motel room. It's just a conversation in a motel. He's taking it from canted angles. He's taking it from crazy perspectives. The guy's good at what he does. I'm not here to say that he's like I've been seeing headlines of Spielberg is retarded now. Like I don't think so. But that doesn't mean that this movie wasn't pretty retarded also. So yeah, Adam, what did you think?
Well, I will say this. I'll start this way. I appreciate a good theme in a movie. I also am not in the camp of people that think movies just have to be mindless escapism. I think they can certainly have something to say. I'm all for that. And Spielberg's past Alien movies have all been very personal movies. If you've seen his documentary that came out a few years ago, he says that plainly. So I expected that coming into this, that he would have a personal stake, something really personal to say in this movie. And so I'm all for that. The problem is when those themes or the thing you're trying to say gets in the way of the story that's being told, and that is exactly what happens here.
Mm-hmm.
As the Family Guy meme goes, this movie insists upon itself throughout its entire runtime. It is so adamant to push onto the audience. You need to listen to what we're saying because the future of mankind, literally and metaphorically, may depend on it. And it just gets in its own way. And the movie is way too long. At 2 hours and 25 minutes. If you're like me and you go to an AMC theater, that means you're spending at least 3 hours in this movie.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I wish they would just put the time the movie actually starts and stop. Like if they say it starts at 2:00 p.m., that's when the actual film starts. And the previews are just that. The show does not wait for that. It annoys me.
Yeah, I mean, my rule of thumb at this point is if the movie is at 2 p.m., I'm in my car smoking weed until 2:05. I get in the snack line at 2:15. I piss, I overbutter my popcorn, and I'm in my seat at 2:30. And even then, there's 15 more minutes.
Yeah, that's a serious problem, but that's for a different discussion for a different day. But
you're talking about my drug problem.
Well, you're that is no, not that problem. The fact that the popcorn is not.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I do want to acknowledge that our mascot Ms. Sparkles, Ms. Sparkles became a member. I almost said Ms. Member Sparkles. Ms. Member Sparkles. Ms. Sparkles became a member again for like the 7th time. So
yeah.
Thank you for that.
Thank you all 7 times.
It's okay. I don't mind. But Ms. Member Sparkles.
So to what you were saying, Adam, I agree because every Spielberg movie that you can think of, almost everyone except for the Indiana Jones movies, is like theme first, right? I mean, if it's not, especially with the Alien ones, right? E.T. is about divorce. Close Encounters is about divorce. War of the Worlds is about divorce.
Almost like he was really angry about his divorce.
And this one is about
specifically
empathy.
His parents' divorce.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, The Fabelmans was about divorce. No, but I think
Schindler's
that we live in a world
was about not divorce.
I hear you. It was very heavy-handed with its themes. I think that the biggest mistake that this movie made, and the craziest thing about this movie, is that, and I really found this very interesting. Like I would love to see a video essay that kind of just goes into just this topic. Aliens is about divorce. Yes. Yeah. Wow, that really derailed my thought process, but I enjoyed it.
That was the point. I like to do that.
Yeah. So this movie was extremely heavy-handed with its themes, but the problem is that both David Koepp and Steven Spielberg wrote this movie from a place of our reality not being correct, right? Like they are extreme boomers. I don't know if they researched this movie, from a technical perspective in terms of like what has happened with disclosure. I don't think that they had a proper estimation of what the real world is like, because as this movie shows you a scene where a newscaster is having a existential breakdown, playing this footage on the TV. Guys, here is the first footage we're all going to see about aliens. And she's literally, you can hear her narrating over the footage. She's like, oh my God. Oh dear Lord, God, no. And it's funny because it's like I'm watching in real time actual disclosure happening, and everyone's like laughing about it, super apathetic about it. I think that these guys live in a world where they don't understand that our reality is so much worse than the Spielbergian pleasantness that he's trying to, this whimsical, like everyone needs empathy. And it's just like, dude, that's not the world we live in. Like, I don't think that a lot of the things that happened in the movie reflect actual disclosure events, which I find fascinating and important, and what they wanted to write about, which is essentially like a bad chase movie with aliens and like you would not believe, to the two guys that haven't seen this movie, how little fucking aliens are in this movie is
Oh no, I've heard.
incredible. I mean, if you've seen the trailer, and then first of all, they lied. And this is another thing, this hit me like a ton of bricks while watching this movie. They lied in the marketing for this movie. First of all, they released a trailer that has shots that are from the third act. It's literally some of the most important shots from the third act are in all of the trailers. And then Spielberg himself came out and did an interview where he said, just so you guys know, they haven't shown anything from the third act yet. That was a fucking lie. And a crazy lie to lie about, because what ends up happening in the third act, without spoiling it per se, is way less impactful than you think it's going to be, and it's way more brief than you think it's going to be. So really the movie is, if I had to compare it to any other Spielberg movie, it's nothing like Close Encounters. It's nothing like War of the Worlds. It is a lot like Minority Report, where you just are basically tracking somebody on the run in a futuristic setting with futuristic tech. You have an enigmatic villain. It was Colin Firth in this, and it was the Penguin in Minority Report. And it's basically just a chase movie. And it's like, guys, we're really doing disclosure. Like, aliens are fucking real. Like, it's really actually kind of happening right now. And to treat it like this, like, whimsical Spielbergian heist movie is such a weird choice that I could not get over while watching this movie. And the length actually didn't bother me. I thought it had good pacing because Spielberg's keeping it moving and his camera work was fun to watch and there was an energy there. But at a certain point, like 2 hours in, I was like, well, what if there were aliens in this movie? Like, that would be fucking incredible. It's not that. It's a chase movie about a magical baton. And it's only about aliens, really consequentially. It could really have been about anything else and would have been mostly the same movie. Majority.
Oh wait, now so with Emily Blunt, how much is she How much is she clicking throughout the whole movie, like Wendy from Alien Earth? Because that really turned me off in the trailer.
Let me say this, right? I saw the first trailer, and when to Emily Blunt clicking, I laughed in the movie theater when I saw the trailer. I was like, this is going to be a next level disaster. What I didn't have any idea, what I could never have anticipated in my entire life, was that her role in the movie was excellent. Her acting in the movie was next level. She's doing something in the movie that they don't advertise in the trailers. They show her clicking, but they don't allude to how many abilities and how many changes she goes through in the movie, trying to lightly not spoil it. But she is doing, and I don't even like Emily Blunt. I don't like her in A Quiet Place. I thought she was very bland in Oppenheimer. I'm constantly distracted by her weird veneers. She was killer in this movie, and it made it worth watching. But the sad fact is she's only in about 40% of the movie. The other 60% of it is Josh O'Connor doing like an annoying American accent and looking like Ratatouille. I don't know who Josh O'Connor is. I think people like want me to like him for some reason. I have no fucking idea. I don't think I've ever really seen him in anything. He was really terrible in this. His girlfriend was terrible, and they were like 60% of the movie. So that was a shame because had the movie A been about aliens, B been way more focused on Emily Blunt, I think it would have been a lot better of an experience. And I think there is a reason why you see in so many of these reviews people saying this was the best Emily Blunt performance ever. I agree with that. I don't like Emily Blunt. I think any actor doing what she did in it, the clicking she did with her actual mouth, which is something I found out, which I thought was very weird. Because I figured that was just them overlaying like the sound effects from Signs like over her face as she made a weird face. She's doing the actual noises. She also speaks several languages in the movie in different scenes. I mean, it was fun to watch. It was an incredible, interesting role for her. So, if anything, huge Emily Blunt fans out there, blunters, blunt heads, as we call ourselves, head out to the cinema because this is like the best work I think she's ever done. The rest of the movie is pretty bad, though.
Well, you heard it fifth here, folks. It's not first here because probably the fifth or sixth stream you've watched talked about this. Honestly, so for me, it was just the length of the movie turned me off. I was gonna go see it. I had a ticket. I wanted to go see it. I hadn't heard anything bad really yet, and I was just like, nah. I can do so much more with my life with 2.5 hours for something I'm probably not going to review anyway.
It's a stream. It's a stream movie for sure.
I mean, I'd like to lie to myself too and say that I have something better to do, but I don't. So I just went anyway.
I do.
Emily Blunt in Edge of Tomorrow was great, especially that scene where she's doing yoga. That's a fantastic scene.
I would say, Joshua, that is definitely like the best role she's had besides this. I think the two of them are pretty unique roles for especially just like a female actress. They really went for it in this one. And yeah, I mean, she is awesome in that movie. But yeah, this was like one of those like special performances that had it been in a better movie, I think that it would be like an Oscar contender at times. But it's just not in the right setting. The writing was in need of a 43rd draft, unfortunately, for this movie.
It needed a hard edit. I mean, it was just way too long.
The yoga scene was the best acting I've ever seen.
And what occurred to me, Dan, after watching the movie, what occurred to me is like the entire movie was a chase sequence to just chase Emily Blunt back to where she started.
Yeah. Yes, that's a great point. The movie begins with her in her weatherman's office and ends in the same place. I didn't even think of that. That is really embarrassing.
I was like, wow, okay.
The end of this movie should be studied like generationally for how to just fucking give up. Because truly, I mean, the movie ends in the middle of a sentence and it's just like after you're sitting in the theater for that long, it just was like ultimate blue balls. Everybody around me in the theater was just like, huh? But yeah, I do think there were things to love. I think that if you went to, like you guys were saying, the other streams that did it, I'm not going to mention any by name, nor any famous movie critics by name, but I've seen some reviews that are deeply unfair about this movie, in my opinion. And I'm here to say that if you love Steven Spielberg, if you have a passing interest in Aliens or Disclosure, it's a fine watch at home. You're not. There's surely worse movies that you can spend your time on, but this was not my man's best work. But look, he's so fucking old, and
well, that's kind of what I wanted to turn this into a discussion about more so than the movie itself. And it's not just Steven Spielberg. It's like, at what point are directors just kind of detached from, the people, so to say? Like what, eventually it's with anything, you eventually age out of it. It's going to happen where you don't have your finger on the pulse anymore. And is that what we think is happening with Steven Spielberg right now?
I think what's happening. Well, it's partially that. I also think, especially if you consider Fablemans, which is just, I mean, it's essentially a biopic he's made about himself and his family. And then this movie, and then I can't think of what came right before Fablemans. I'm blanking. But over the years, and this does happen with men of his age, I see it in older gentlemen in my family who are around the same age. They get very sentimental when they start to get older, thinking about the old days and thinking about what they want to leave behind, that kind of thing. I think this is very much what's happening here, and that with Spielberg, and that sentimentality is just getting in the way of his decision making when it comes to the type of movies that he's making and the choices that he's making in those movies. So I think that has a bigger thing to do with it than just being old, but being old and incredibly wealthy, and being essentially what is, I mean, he is the definition of a Hollywood elite. He's been at the top of Hollywood for the better part of 50
almost
years now.
like 40 plus years at this point.
So yeah, I think being out of touch is a fair criticism as well.
And it's not. I don't think it's even really a criticism. I think it's just a reality. I mean, it happens in everything, and like it's easy to forget. But like, just think about anything. If an aging coach in a sport, eventually their play calling doesn't work anymore because it's outdated. Surgeons after a while stop learning new techniques because, like, obviously surgery, there's a reason why you call being a doctor being practice, because you're always learning a new technique or a new medicine or something new, and eventually you just kind of get stuck in your ways and it's not the way you do things anymore. And I'm wondering if maybe that's just kind of happening to almost everybody now. Ridley Scott, we've seen it with, obviously now Steven Spielberg, even and even though it makes a shit ton of money with the Avatar movies, James Cameron, the Avatar movies have all kind of gotten stuck in themselves. It was something that was innovative when the first one came out. Now it's like, okay, it looks great, but it's still the same kind of thing. And I think that might be where we're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to demystify the movie director as a thing that is trapped in time, where people look at any new Tarantino movie and they're like, why isn't this more like the days of Pulp Fiction, and etc. I think it's important to know that these are fucking human beings, and one of the closest parallels to movie making, I would say, is making music. Almost every musician hits a zenith and hits their hot streak and then kind of spirals out over the course of however many decades, right? But if you think about it, if you compare music or sports or anything to movies, Steven Spielberg's in his 80s. Like, you don't see a lot of musicians still playing music outside of like very select examples. As old as
and Rolling Stones.
Yeah, I mean, as old as Steven Spielberg is, I'm not trying to cope or make an excuse for it, because a movie is a movie at the end of the day. And had this been directed by someone else, or had this been directed anonymously, it would have to be judged on its own merits. But I guess I come from it at the same angle that I came to The Irishman with, where it's like, this is a dude who probably shouldn't be making movies anymore. These are all actors that are probably shouldn't be making movies anymore. But there is an appreciation level just to see that artist still trying to express themselves. And for me, it's like, I'm almost like proud of a director when they get to that age range. And I know a lot of people, it's very easy to trash Ridley Scott. It's very easy to trash these people because you're basing their movies against previous movies, art that they did 4 or 5 decades ago. And it's just weird because we give movie directors this mythic status where it's like, I'll excuse, anything that I can. This dude is older than, I mean, when I'm Steven Spielberg's age, I will be in a home. I will be literally on dialysis.
I'll be dead when,
like,
when I'm his age.
Dead,
I'm not,
right?
I don't want to be
that
old.
That long. So this dude is going out there on an international tour. He's going out there making a movie across the world. He's playing in a sandbox that he likes. If you don't like it, that's fine. That's totally fine. I didn't like most of the movie. I'm just saying, like, the air of negativity online about this movie, that we should all be mad at Steven Spielberg. I've seen so many like TikToks of people being like, "Yo, fuck Steven Spielberg!" Like, come on, dude. He could be your great, not even your grandfather. He could be your great grandfather. Like, I get it. Like, it's not a great movie, but at the end of the day, like, the negativity has a limit for me when it comes to someone who's literally geriatric.
You got someone like Clint Eastwood who's directing into his mid-90s, and the guy's still
Right.
putting out, But he obviously
the
he's
corpse of Clint Eastwood is directed.
yeah, exactly. I mean, what his last film? He was like 92 or 93 or something.
I
but
mean, the guy, he looks rough, but I mean,
yeah,
I guess I look rough at 41, so
Speaking of, the last thing I do want to say about age and all of this stuff too in relation to this movie, speaking of, they literally brought a corpse out to do their job. John Williams, dude, take a fucking nap. It's over, bro. Like, they literally,
So,
I think
well, I
they
did
wrote-
highlight before this one. Great composers to manage to a degree. I think it's a little bit. I don't think
not in
that.
this case.
Well, when it comes to like classical style music, I think it doesn't really change as much as filming techniques and all the other things that I mentioned. Obviously,
Yeah.
music changes, but that style is kind of locked in itself.
Instrumental music, you can't put
Yeah.
an age on per se. It's hard.
Well, like even when music changes, it's not that like that genre doesn't change from within. So like what's like classic rock doesn't become a new version comes along. Alternative rock, and then this and then that. It doesn't. It's not. But the style is still locked in its time, and it still works for what it is. I think that it's not as it's a lot easier to age gracefully as a composer.
yeah,
especially for this movie with John Williams is credited to have written a majority of the score, and I have no doubt that he had a large hand in it. But certainly at 92 and being in a wheelchair, he probably didn't do too much. But I mean, obviously, he's one of the best to ever compose, especially for film scores, and so his work is extensively studied by others who are in that field. So I'm sure, like anybody who's learned to play music of the masters, people are able to kind of sit down and talk with him and be like, okay, is this what you mean? They say yes, no, change this, change that.
Well,
And
I don't want to
so
be
they can
a
kind
dick
of
about
emulate
it.
that style.
Sure.
And that's how they can do that, with
Until
as
no
a
Shaggins
composer
thought that
ages.
John Williams was dead.
I don't, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not even making a joke. I'm not trying to be a dick. I do not think that John Williams composed the music for this movie. And I think that he stopped composing right after Force Awakens. I think that was the last time that he had like coherent creative thoughts in his functioning brain. What we have now, if I had to guess, is a team of people who work under John Williams's umbrella. They do what you were just kind of describing, where they're ghostwriting essentially in his style. He probably plays a lick or two on a piano, maybe, if I had to guess. And they trot him out and they put his name on it, and they the line from Jurassic Park about slapping things on a lunchbox. And I really just don't like, I listen to the whole soundtrack. I usually, after when I see a movie, if it's a good composer, because I'm typically not focusing too much on music in the movie, I'll listen to it afterwards. There's like, and this was confirmed after watching the movie, like there's no themes or main theme to this movie at all. And I think he worked in a consultant capacity, and they and I don't even think that this is that bad of a thing that I'm talking about, because this dude created an entire audio language that will be studied forever. But I don't see it. I just don't think that Joshua Roberts, John Williams in quotation marks, is for sure how it should be in the credits. So yeah, I mean, that was very unmemorable. That did not help things. You could hear his like flourishes, but they decidedly, and I read in interviews that they decided there would be no main theme to the movie. It would only be reactive music. And it was very, very disengaging and not there for the most of the part.
So what you're saying is he plays one key on he's that one lone key at the beginning of every single trailer. That's John Williams at this point. just ding, and it's the
Yeah,
whole.
That's it.
Getting out of hand. How every trailer is back practically the same thing now. It's
that
one
high
thing for
B
movies
flat
to
or
be.
whatever it is.
Yeah, it's one thing for movies to be formulaic, but like when you start making the trailers just as formulaic, we're still getting a few here and there that are not exactly like what was it? The one that I saw the other day with the Whale Fall, the trailer for Whale Fall.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, like that actually does a good job of like being like, well, clearly there's a lot more to this movie because he doesn't die in the trailer, so. Like it's showing you stuff from fairly early in the film, which is good. There was also that one for what's the one with Brad Pitt that's coming out with the dog?
The David Ayer movie.
Yeah, that one. That one had me interested because it had very like the Gray vibes with. But yeah,
Every actor always has that one movie with a dog.
Neeson.
I don't know. That seems to be like.
Yep.
You got to have your dog movie at this point.
It seems to have that's like a rite of passage for older male actors. They all have to have a movie with a dog.
I mean, we're going to be talking about dad movies later. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, we're going to be.
That's a dad movie subgenre for sure. Man and dog.
Dog movies. Except for those ones. What were those chick flicks where they just kept killing the dog over and over again? It was.
What was the one with Harrison Ford from like 10 years ago?
No, it wasn't Harrison Ford. No, it was what the hell was it? It was like a dog.
That was so cursed.
Dog's Journey or something like that.
Journey, yeah, was that
it? It was like it's literally just a movie where they keep killing a dog over and over again and it keeps reviving. I was like,
that's a movie that like premiered in old folks' homes only.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's the dog keeps
the digital dog.
The spirit of the dog
keeps going from different dogs, and they just it keeps dying in horrific ways throughout the movie. I'm like, this is a fucking horror movie. What do you like?
Is this the movie A Dog's Purpose?
Dog's Purpose. There we go. The dog's purpose is to die over and fucking over again. Marley and Me, another one. Speaking of things that die, did you guys see this? By the way, did you guys? This is fucking. I reposted this.
I did see this.
This is the fucking most ridiculous shit I've ever seen.
Well, this is a snuff film. You literally watch it.
What? We die? I was just having such a good time.
And she's dead. That's the end of that. There's no.
No, this was a real buzzkill. Guys, did you know that John Williams was born in 1932?
I knew he was
a different angle,
man. A different angle.
I'm getting different angles here.
What is going on here?
I mean, you're literally showing a woman
this is not good. All right.
Okay, I'm done.
I mean, I'm not sure. That's kind of bad taste. We're literally just watched a woman die, like not like figuratively. She's literally that guilty.
I still can't believe that fucking happened.
You should have just shown someone get shot in the head.
Maybe I will next time, but no joke. I'm still confused. Like, there's literally a person there whose only job is to hook up the rope, and he doesn't hook up the rope.
Well, it was an illegal bungee jumping operation off a bridge. They were just people with a bungee cord who were like, hey, you want to jump off a bridge? And they're like, sure. I mean, honestly, she probably would have died anyway.
So apparently this was a teacher, like a PE teacher in Brazil. I think that this woman, there was a hit put out on her by a favela drug lord. And he gave a C- to the drug lord's kid. She gave her. And this was this.
Was.
What was that?
I said, did you see what her last post online was?
Can't wait to bungee jump. I don't know. What was it?
It was a picture of the bridge on Instagram. It was a picture of the bridge with a caption on it that said, "What crazy person told me to jump off a bridge?"
Yeah, exactly. And it was probably. I'm telling you, it was. There was. This is a conspiracy.
This is a fuck.
There's no way that this happens by accident.
Well, it does.
Well, with that, I would say we've concluded the Disclosure Day discussion. feel free to move on.
It's fine. Okay. I mean, I actually kind of I did want your opinion and Bobby's opinion on Backrooms because you guys weren't on last week, and I'm still kind of seem to be one of the few people championing that it's not a good movie. It seems like I'm in the minority here, so I want to hear your guys' opinions.
Ooh, I would have loved to See that review.
I thought it was
I
okay.
mean, the thing is, my review of it, I basically gave it last week on the show. It just I thought it did really well in the first hour, and then it just blew all of its premise in the second hour. It was just or like the last 45 minutes or whatever it was. It just I felt that
Were
it
you familiar with the shorts at all?
no,
Or?
and now I've
Okay.
actually become familiar with the shorts, and I like them a lot more than
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah.
Well,
but go on, you guys.
I watched
I guess Bobby go first because you.
Yeah, I was going to say I watched your video, Bobby, on this topic, and
Yeah.
I had a very good reaction to it. So let's hear it again.
Yeah, I saw your comment. But yeah, so Matt hadn't seen any of the shorts, maybe one or two, and I had watched all of them after I saw the trailer because I thought the trailer looked pretty interesting, and it was almost like the movie went. It took this interesting idea that these shorts were doing, this kind of experimental liminal horror, and it just slapped Hollywood on it.
Yeah.
And that was I just didn't like what they did by bringing in these characters and kind of just putting this Hollywood veneer on it. Even though, yeah, you have a movie, you want compelling characters, but I never really cared that much watching the shorts because it was more of about the visuals and the atmosphere and all of that. But our big thing was just it was more the execution of how they presented these characters and their backstories outside in the outside world, rather than having them do it throughout the course of the film while they were either trapped or exploring the back rooms. That was like our biggest critique, I think, that it was just how it was presented. But these characters are they're the trauma laden characters because that's the big fad right now. Everybody's got to have this traumatic backstory that's in place of a personality. So you get these characters and you spend a lot of time learning about them, as opposed to let's uncover these things as we move through the story in the back rooms. But yeah, it was interesting seeing it done through a cinematic perspective, and then you get like little chunks of the film that are done in the found footage style, and visually, that was all great. It was just a little too much Hollywood on it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dan.
Yeah, I mean, I agreed with like a tremendous amount of stuff in your video. I have also gone very deep into the shorts before seeing the movie, which I
Yeah.
would have to admit now is the incorrect way of going about it. I think that if you haven't seen the Backroom shorts, watch the movie first. It's basically Backrooms for Dummies, and then explore the series. Except, I mean, really the issue for me is that the series, if I had to kind of do a comparison for me, the closest thing to this movie as an adaptation was like Annihilation. If you haven't read the book Annihilation, it's one of my favorite sci-fi novels ever. It's also part of a trilogy of maybe the best modern sci-fi, some of the best modern sci-fi I've ever read. The movie is just this Hollywood A24 adjacent slop put on top of a story that was originally very mysterious, very analog, very smart, while not being overt. All the kind of details are in the background. You have to put a lot together in your own mind. That's kind of the vibe of the Backrooms web shorts. It's kind of like you build a mythology in your mind to try to explain what you're seeing. You're being given very wild and abstract details that can be very hard science fiction, and mathematical and very interesting. And I felt like this movie was just like taking that mythology and setting it behind an elevated A24 movie or like a parody of an elevated A24 movie, because usually with Hereditary or with Heretic, you have an original director coming in and they started with the idea of, I want to make a movie about grief, or in Heretic's case, I want to make a movie about religion. This felt like the opposite, where they came to Kane Parsons and they're like, we're A24. We'll give you, $10 million, $20 million to make this movie, but you need to lead with theme, and the theme needs to be connected to the characters, and the characters need to be suffering from either grief or trauma. And it's just not the approach that this story deserved. And it was well made. It had great sections in it. Chiwetel was incredibly good in it. I just think it ended up kind of tripping over its own aspirations to be more of a movie. And if anything ever should have been just a completely abstract, hard sci-fi mindfuck, it should have been a Backrooms movie directed by
Yeah.
Kane Parsons.
Definitely.
And there's a lot of grief that I feel in the loss of that as an experience, because that's what I thought I was walking into. The fact that async was an afterthought is just like kind of painful to me in general, because their entire narrative and story in the web series is far more consequential than the people just who happen to fall in. Kane knew that he couldn't just do hard science about this company async, so he would make the found footage shorts, in my opinion, to put a personal spin on it, like, oh, what if you fell into this situation? But the people who fall in never find anything out. They never make any grand discoveries about the backrooms. In this movie, they do. It's like Chiwetel falls in, and then all of a sudden, after an anonymous time skip of who knows how much time, he's like an expert of being in the backrooms. He's got it all pretty much figured out. He understands why there's a giant pirate version of him chasing him around. It's like, it's just too much. I just thought the approach was poor. And I also thought that there was a surprising lack of actual variety. I thought that we were going to see, as the fans of Backrooms would call it, more levels.
Yeah.
It really didn't go as whacked out imagination wise as one would expect from, let's give the guy who made these shorts a bunch of money. And I think that kind of my final thought about it is just what's truly incredible about it is that they built this 30,000 square foot whatever. They keep bragging about it. But at the end of the day, when you take that web series and you make it practical, you end up spending a lot of money on what's going to be like 15 hallways, where had the dude just made a $10 million movie in Blender, or sections of it for 20, 30 minutes in Blender, we could have seen some really interesting stuff. And they sort of hinted at it a couple times, but it felt like bringing it into the movie world, it lost a bit of its imagination and scope. Whereas like, Hard Cut on your channel, you guys have mentioned a bunch of times, just as I have on my channel, that the 90s did it the best. Like X-Files Fight the Future. Let's up the effects, let's up the locales, let's up the stakes, and answer a bunch of mythology. And this was the opposite of that. It's like you're going to see less than you usually do. I mean, the found footage segment he released a year ago had all sorts of insane inside of this like giant red city and all this crazy shit. There really wasn't much like that in the movie. So yeah, I mean, to me, it was like Backrooms for dummies, and it was very disappointing. I expected a lot more from it.
Yeah. Very neutered.
Well, I mean, that's basically how I felt. That it as the movie went on, it just basically had to do all the things that it were required. You know, the beginning, the whole premise, and after watching some of the shorts, like I watched the original short a couple of days ago for the first time. I watched a couple since, but I had like genuine, I don't want to say dread, but there was tension. There was like tension to it, because it felt like a true pursuit. Whereas in the only scenes that I got that in this one were in the movie, I should say, were when they lower the cameraman down into the area, when he first finds the backpack, and the very first scene where it's, the unknown member of the science team. 3 scenes out of the entire movie when the whole thing should have been building tension from start to finish. And the pirate, I found the pirate reveal to be the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. I was just like, this is not a paying off the build up for what this was.
For sure.
Especially, I can only imagine that the people who had an understanding of what, of the shorts, and I don't know, what are they called in the shorts, the like tall ass thing? in that?
Just entities.
The life
the entity,
forms.
life form. It that genuinely feels like terrifying because it looks so weird, whereas this just looked goofy. And I can only imagine
Yeah,
that
it
people
did.
who knew about it and watched
We're
the
worried.
shorts were expecting to see like a really expensive version of what was in the shorts, and then they got a pirate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was.
I mean, it's very, very similar, again, to bring up Annihilation, to the way that movie handled its ending as well. That movie basically did the whole, like, and I kind of blame Contact. I feel like Contact was the first movie to pull this, where you get to the end, you're expecting aliens, and then it's like, it's not aliens, it's a reflection of you, of your memories, of your trauma. Annihilation, same thing. She gets to the end, she gets to the lighthouse, it's just like a mimic of her, and oh, actually, Area X is just mimicking people, whereas in the book it had a fantastic explanation. This was the same way, where once I saw, firstly, that it was so goofy looking, I hated that, but then when I realized, like, oh, the entity is just another memory that came out of this guy's head, that idea is not in the web series at all, and that idea to me shrinks the entire mythology of the Backrooms into something way less interesting.
Yeah.
And the idea that it's being created out of our memories doesn't explain. I mean, what would it have looked like when the first person dropped into it? Was it always yellow walls and wall? It just doesn't make sense.
It
in a
actually
variety
makes
of
it
movies.
even worse because what was the creature that actually killed that dude? It wasn't a pirate. It wasn't the pirate, because that's not his memory. It's not his.
Are
That
you
why would
talking
that
about the
person do it?
first scene?
The first scene, right?
Yeah.
Why
So,
like
if
so
you
what was the thing that
pause
killed
the
him?
first scene- If you pause the first scene, it is in fact the pirate, and that first scene is out of chronological order with the rest of the movie. The pirate in that scene, someone freeze framed it, is kind of like the entity from the series, where it's like a black outline, but you can clearly see that it has a peg leg. So it maybe was in the beginning days of Chiwetel creating that creature in that environment. What doesn't ultimately make sense is, if this is the case, then why aren't the backrooms filled with people's memories? It's never been like that. I mean, every backrooms depiction in the web series is just an endless industrial void of some kind. Not like, oh, and here's the Ferris wheel I rode on, and here's my neighborhood, and that really isn't the way I saw it either. I always saw it as the backrooms is some kind of entity or energy, like the island from Lost almost, and it's trying to express its reality or its existence by creating some sort of endless void. But to say like it's just coming out of people's memories, it just feels like it shrunk the entire world down, and like I honestly don't even give a fuck about it if that's going to be the ultimate answer of mythology.
Yeah, because nobody in the shorts are like walking around like, oh, this looks like something that
Exactly.
I remember. Like that's never been a thing at
Never.
all. It's always just like these really interesting random things, and people are just completely confused. And then you get the async people who are actually exploring and trying to figure things out, and they're taking a more scientific approach. So you don't get that like character connection per se, but I didn't care watching the shorts. Like I wanted to just see it keep going, and like what are they going to uncover next, and what little tidbit are they going to drop in the next short, and it was a cool way that he was building it out. And I know he still wants to continue the series beyond, not just like a sequel, but continue the shorts, because he does have like a plan. He has talked about how he has like a master idea of what the backrooms are, and he hasn't revealed that yet. But I mean, talk about the prime opportunity to do it in your
Yeah.
feature film debut of your YouTube series, and he went the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Like I said,
It's bizarre.
It felt like it was trying to both be an introduction and a continuation at the same time, and that didn't work for me.
That's fine, because the X-Files movie is exactly that, right? That movie's meant for people who've never heard of the X-Files, while also resolving and getting serious about some of the most unanswered lore in all of the seasons of the show. That's, to me, it's very possible to do it. You could have had the main character be the Mark Duplass instead of Chiwetel, and had his whole struggle as an async employee. We could see him for months at a time exploring that space. The found footage segments could have been much, much longer. And also, I think it was a mistake. I don't know if this bothered anybody else, but I thought it was a mistake, especially looking at the series to the web series to the movie, to portray the regular outside world as such a liminal, bizarre, off
Yeah.
kilter place. Then you've got no straight man to the scenario. All you have is weird A24 reality meets like regular weird backrooms reality. It's almost like they made our reality weirder and they made the backrooms less weird. And that's the worst fucking choice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still fucking pretty mad about it. I mean, I liked watching it, and I enjoy the experience of it. Like at points, I was with my friend who's a movie director who's visiting me for the weekend, and he makes found footage movies. And I was sitting with him in the theater, and there were moments where we were like, "Dude, this is insane. We're in a theater." Seeing a fucking backrooms movie, like it's such a mind fuck. And then when it revealed its hand, it was like, damn, this kind of sucks. So, I don't know. This wasn't what I wanted, and I don't care that it wasn't found footage. I did not need the movie to be fully found footage at all. It just fucked up like its base projections of what it could or should have been, and yeah, just was a big letdown for me.
So yeah, we're pretty much on the same boat then about that. Which is
I'll watch the shorts, man. Keep the shorts coming. I'll watch a million more of those Blender shorts because they are, like you were saying, Dark Hour. Like you get a sense of dread in some of those that is incredible, and you do it without knowing that the main character got a divorce. It's not that kind of serious. Like,
Yeah.
You don't
okay,
you don't always need a divorce.
if it's an Insidious movie, something like that, where it's like it's just you're gonna get the ghouls again. Like, okay, then have good, interesting characters. Then you can make a movie stand out. But this was like, I don't need characters in this movie at all, and you're giving me way too much of them. I didn't care that the psychologist had like a book on tape series. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't know.
It's funny that you
Yeah.
mentioned Insidious, by the way, because I know that there's a new Insidious movie coming out. But actually, no. Well, there's the reveal of the villain in this, the reveal of the pirate, actually kind of reminds me of the original Insidious, where they build up this really tense thing, and then it turns out it's just like a bald dude,
Darth Maul.
Yeah, who looks like Darth Maul. Like it's really weird looking, and
Yeah, for sure. That's a good comparison.
like the when you don't see him, and like anybody who hasn't seen Insidious, I mean, it's an okay movie. It's not great.
The first hour is incredible. but
Yeah,
after
so
that,
it's honestly, if you like the
really-
Conjuring movies, you'll like Insidious. Like it's pretty
Yeah,
like it's
same-
kind of
same
the
deal.
same
Well, it's the
yeah.
same
You've got a lot of the
director,
same
right?
actors, same
James
director.
Wan.
So.
yeah.
But like I was saying, so like they build up this tension of like, you only see quick glimpses, and obviously if you're watching it for the first time, you're not pausing it. You see quick glimpses and shadows of these creatures, ghosts and demons and stuff. And then when you finally do see him, he's just the silly. I'll just pull up a picture because it's fucking hilarious. But it's like,
Yeah, he's
hold
pretty
on.
goofy. This is a complete non sequitur as well, but like I just want to say, if we're talking at all about James Wan, Malignant, can we talk about Malignant at all? Do we have any
Yeah,
Malignant?
go ahead. You
fans?
can talk about whatever you want, man. This is this is.
Have either of the other two guys here seen that movie? Has anyone seen that movie besides me?
I have not.
Oh man, that
It's
is
an
one of
experience
the
for sure.
fucking movies, dude. That movie is like it went from the first half of it, I was like, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, to the second half being like, this is one of my favorite movies ever now. The crazy energy of that movie. If you ever like want to watch a horror movie with an unbelievable twist, like one of the great horror twists ever, Malignant. Great movie.
I don't know if I'd call it one of the great horror. It is certainly a horror twist. I don't know if I'd call it
It's
one of
pretty
the great
incredible.
horror twists.
Look, when I say great, it's obviously such a B movie, but like just the shock of that twist for me was pretty pretty incredible.
It's a fucking bald dude. Like it's not even.
This is like Star Wars con Darth Maul.
He's
Middle
even
aged
got,
Yeah,
like-
this is been through a divorce, sitting in family court. Darth Maul. This is.
This
It's
is
always
Darth
about
Maul.
divorce. It always comes back to divorce.
He's even got like
Yeah.
the hair on the side. That's
Yeah.
awful.
And it's like, but they even do some like genuinely good things in that movie of setting up for him. Like, I mean, I can't show the scene, but there's a legendary jump scare scene in that movie.
Yes.
Because
But
it's
when
in the
they
middle
cut
of
to
the
him,
fucking day. Like it's not when you expect it to happen. And
The first time they cut to him like sharpening his claws on that giant sharpening machine, that's when I checked the fuck out.
yeah, and if they never showed it, they just needed to make him not a balding man. That would have been fine.
I take that personally, but I'll let it go. I'm not in a movie, so
I mean, you know, my avatar is you know, he's balding, so look at that. Look at those New Balances. There we go.
Orthopedic New Balances.
Yeah, they
Should
got
you explain
they're
to
the
the
arch
audience-
fits. They're the arch fit New Balances.
you
I actually
explain to the
I
audience
actually wear arch
what's
fit shoes, so I'm.
do you want to explain the theme of your chibi for the day?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I guess we can move on to that if you guys want to move on to that. So obviously, you know, we got Father's Day coming up in what, 4 days, 5 days? What is that? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5 days.
First one ever.
Yeah, congratulations. But so I figured we'd just have a little, you know, spend the second hour or whatever, half hour, 45 minutes, whatever we end up doing, just kind of talking about dad movies. You know, I don't really like it's been slow enough. Obviously, we could talk about dumb shit like a leaked scene from a completely contextless leaked scene from Secret Wars or sorry, Doomsday or whatever. But
Did that
I'd
happen?
rather. Yeah, and I don't know what the hell I'm even looking at, so I don't want to talk about it. It's like, but but yeah, I just kind of feel like you know, this is the first time we're ever near a Father's Day, and I think we all have some experiences with dad movies, whether it be ones that we watch with our dad or in your instance, because I know Movie Blues told me his dad just what'd you say before?
My dad, like all he ever wants to watch is like footage of the Challenger explosion. He does not like movies or TV shows. He just likes watching historical disasters. Like he'll sit and watch the Zapruder tape. He likes 9/11 coverage, not like a
He
documentary.
likes
on it.
9/11 coverage. He's like, yeah, take
Just like raw footage from the streets of 9/11.
He's just like,
Um,
it's definitely an inside job. Look at this. Watch it. He's sitting there with like, he's like the scene from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's got like a board.
Yeah.
He's just like staring into the camera.
But
yeah,
I
I mean-
I mainly watch movies with my mom. My mom was really into sci-fi. She showed me Alien when I was like 7. So that was kind of more the parent that did that kind of thing. But so I'll have something to add, I'm sure.
I would agree. Terminator 2 is a very prime dad film, only because it even has the paternal concepts. Like, what is a father figure? I mean, like, obviously we could touch on Terminator 2. I don't think we can add too much to that discussion at this point. It's been talked about a billion times. But let me ask you this. Let's do it this way. Obviously, besides Movie Blues, because is there a movie about the Challenger explosion? Is there?
Not yet.
I don't think
Okay,
so.
well.
We'll get there, and Ryan Gosling will be in it.
If you had to pick, like, let's say, like, just the first movie for you, Review Bomb and Bobby, Review Bob, Bombi, whatever you want to call it. What is the first movie that comes to mind when you think of your dad? We'll start with you, Bobby.
The Perfect Storm.
Oh,
Nice.
I
wasn't expecting that one actually. That wasn't one that was on my list.
No, I mean I could have dropped like 10 different ones that
Well, we'll
were
go
way
through.
more popular.
Don't worry, we can go through all
But
of them. Like, what's
for
the
some
first
reason,
one?
it's like I can't go visit my parents without my dad like having that movie on in the background for some reason. And I don't know if it's like because I grew up on Long Island, which had a very heavy fishing industry, and he
Also
used to,
supports the Grey Goose vodka industry as well.
But yeah, I don't know. He just like he loves watching that movie over and over, and like other classics. He loves Casino Royale and he loves Inglourious Bastards, but that one seems to be the one that's always on every time I visit.
It's funny. I feel like I used to make fun of my dad. So for those who don't know, my father passed away a long time ago. But I used to make fun of my dad for this because he would always watch the same like 6 movies. And I'll be like,
Yeah.
Dad, there's so
Yeah.
many more things that you can watch. And as I'm getting older, I'm just like, I get it. I get it now. I'm just like, you get to a point where you're like, I just want to watch the thing I like. My dad would watch Tombstone
Yeah.
constantly, just like, but like the movie that comes to mind, my dad first is Predator. So when I was a little kid, right, like, and I think this is I think everybody had this experience at some point, except for Movie Blues. Maybe it was his mom, but
This made me feel like my dad died.
what?
So being excluded from this conversation makes me feel like my dad died.
It was just funny because mine's the one that's dead. So it's we're the
Oh.
and I have the story, but but Predator. So my dad obviously, he was a union worker, so he would go through ebbs and flows of being, on the bench, off the bench. So like it was basically unemployed, but not really. You still were part of the union. So there would be times of the year where like and my mom worked in a bank. There would be times of the year where on the weekend, it was just me and my dad, and he'd be like, oh, here's a grilled cheese sandwich, and he put on Predator. And it was like every fucking Saturday when I was like 3 years old, 4 years old. And I was like, I really think that shaped me as a person. Like to this day, I'm like I'm glad I grew up in a generation where like dads didn't give a fuck what they were showing their kids. They were just, it
Yeah.
was like, here's all the tits and the gore you could want, and also here's a shit ton of sugary candy. Have fun. Leave me alone. I'll be watching the game. That's basically what it was.
Yeah. My dad showed me Die Hard when I was like 8. It just became a staple.
Dude, it was I don't remember if it was Sundays or Saturdays, but it definitely was. It was like every week. My mom tells me to this day that all the time. It's like, but there was other movies, obviously. So well, let me let Review Bomb go first before I continue.
Well, I'll preface this by saying my dad died in 2006, so we got 2 living fathers, 2 dead fathers. So we're going to be going through past and present tense. But one of the movies that my dad was constantly watching was Jaws. For some reason, on TNT, before they just showed Law and Order reruns all the time, they would do,
I remember they used to put Jaws on all the time during the summer.
yeah, well, every Saturday evening, it was a double feature of Jaws and The Shawshank Redemption. It was always those 2 movies before they did like their evening movie, and my dad would sit and watch.
Which was
both.
which was the Jaws Shank Redemption. It was a mashup movie.
Yeah. So, but I guess technically it's those 2 movies, Jaws and Shawshank. But
That was
he would
another one.
just watch them both together. But yeah, to the to the disdain of my mother, who's like, if I have to hear Morgan Freeman narrate one more time, I'm gonna go crazy. But for some reason, those
Get busy living or get cracking. That's the I know that's not the real version, but that's from that's from what the fuck was that show?
I don't know, but you're nailing
Robot Chicken.
There we go.
It was a mashup of the Kraken from not the Odyssey, the other one, the Clash of the Titans, and he went to prison and then he got out and it was like, get busy living or get cracking. But yeah, I mean, those are 2 good ones though. Shawshank Redemption and Jaws those are real dad movies too.
Yeah, there was always the marathons at certain times a year for the James Bond marathons. If that was happening, those were always on.
That was a dad run.
Oh yeah, Goldfinger, Thunderball, just endless Connery films on in the background.
It was always
The
crazy
Rock.
because
Go
I
ahead.
feel
Yeah,
like
The
every
Rock,
year every year I would watch the James Bond marathon, but like it would always be in like fragments and pieces, and like
Yeah,
it felt like I had seen. It took me like going and actually rewatching the movies more as an adult to be like, wow, I've seen like whole hours of this movie and it must have been during the James Bond marathon, and I just had no idea which one I was even watching.
Hmm.
It was good. It was like being in that, and they did the Twilight Zone marathon. That was another one that
Oh,
went for
every year on New
New
Year's
Year's.
Eve.
Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
used to
My
love that.
parents were crazy for that one.
Anti-derivative Jill has been covers mostly Star Trek, but she occasionally does Twilight Zone stuff. I gotta get on her show one day and do it. Those
Oh
were
yeah,
really
that was another. The my dad has watched the original Star Trek series. Just those episodes are just on repeat over and over. And then you bring up any other Star Trek series, he's like, no, all gay. He just loves the original
Hey,
series.
even TNG. I think TNG.
He thought TNG was okay, but he was like, Picard is no Kirk, and that was the hill he'd die on. So
Picard doesn't fuck enough aliens to be Kirk.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my dad was a big TNG guy. We used to watch it every week, so I remember a lot of those big, more famous TNG episodes. Watching them in real time. He was a big original trilogy fan, also, but for some reason he really loved, I said original trilogy, original Trek too. But he was a big time TNG fan.
So I have a couple of movies that my dad took me to see in theaters that are to this day it's kind of fun. So obviously we have Toy Story 900 or whatever the fuck's coming out. Now Toy Story 5 coming out, but he actually took me to see the very first one when I was a kid. So that's I always every time I see any Toy Story anything, it makes me think of him. But another one, and this one, I always find this funny because I almost can hold it over people's heads in my, because I know a lot of people were obsessed with this movie, but none of them saw it in theaters, and that's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, I know so many people who it's like they have a shit ton of merch for it. And I'm like, yeah, but I saw it in theaters and you didn't. And they're like, and that's enough to win the argument right there.
I saw that one in theaters also with my family, and then afterwards we got the cassette tape, and we would drive down to the Jersey Shore and listen to the cassette tape, which is essentially the entire movie.
Yeah, it's practically the whole the soundtrack is 80% of that movie.
Yeah, and I mean we were obsessed with that movie in like not a hot topic way, like in a totally normal, well-adjusted way. And then it got really popular after the fact, and it was always weird being like, yeah, wow, I really loved that movie when it came out, and then people, I guess, started really adoring it to like a personality override degree, which I don't really agree with that.
Somebody
So,
recently told me that was the sensory overload era of movies where everything was just everything was just crazy visuals over like music constantly, and it was just and that's one of the examples of it is that it's also this almost uncanny valley thing that was going on with a lot of it because it looks almost real a lot of times, but it's obviously claymation. But yeah, the what was it, Bobby? You were saying that you had like 10 movies you could list off about your dad. I want to hear the rest of them actually.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Stalag 17. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
Well, we're going
one.
to talk about some of these movies as we
I
go
do
along.
know. I know that one very well. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my
I'm waiting
dad's
for-
like big films. Just because my grandfather was a POW in one of those camps during World War II, and so he said that was the most accurate depiction of any movie he's ever seen of that that specific event. So that one was always on. Let's see, Glorious Bastards, Casino Royale, Perfect Storm, Forrest Gump was on all the time.
Can we decide, right? Can we just put this to rest that the worst villain of all time is Jenny from that fucking movie? Like seriously, I
Straight up villain.
she's just a straight up fucking villain. She's like here's a kid. She just ignores him his whole life. He's just tries to make everything better for her, and then she goes and gets AIDS and drops a kid off at his doorstep and dies. It's just
I could have fixed her.
yeah, and you would have got AIDS.
No, I would have fixed her before the AIDS. so that she would not end up getting it. Go
What
on.
else you got, Bobby?
Let's see. Probably Godfather. There's a movie called 29th Street with Danny Aiello and Anthony LaPaglia that probably nobody has heard of.
That sounds
Never heard
very
of it, no.
bad.
Very Italian American film. Takes place in like the late 70s, early 80s. But let's see what else. That's almost 10. Goldfinger, like, the Bond stuff. Goldfinger.
Well, yeah,
is on all the
Goldfinger's like
time.
the. I
Yeah.
think that or
Probably one of the.
Yeah, Moonraker, Mr. No. Those are like the Doctor No. Sorry, they're
Oh,
the
Doctor No. Yeah,
Doctor
yeah.
No. They're the ones that everybody always saw growing up because of their dads.
Yeah.
I think what is interesting now is that we are all of the age that we would be, and I mean, obviously, this is on my mind having a 10-month-old, but that it's our turn to kind of bring the dad movies to the table. And I don't
Yeah.
want to bring Jaws and I don't want to bring Indiana Jones. And like those were my dad's or my mom's movies that they had kind of latched onto. So what I think is interesting, and I do posts on my blog about it, where I love dad movies from our generation. We had a hell of a lot of good dad movies. Like one of the ones I did a write up on was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That to me is like some absolute dad shit. Dragonheart.
Well, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves has probably the greatest version of the Sheriff of Nottingham ever because it's
Yeah.
Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
So it's fucking and Alan Rickman. Can we talk about Alan Rickman for just a minute here?
Bro.
Like seriously, to think that his first movie role of all time was Die Hard. And,
Was it really?
Yeah, and he didn't fucking nail
Wow.
it.
Way to start.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like
I didn't realize that was
99%
the first
certain.
movie. Where did they find him?
I'll look it
Wasn't
up.
he
I don't
doing
know the-
theater? I think he was doing theater.
He
Wasn't
must have been doing like Shakespearean theater, and they're like, "How about Hans Gruber?"
Let's see. Let me just
He was
double
like,
check.
"Don't do it."
Yeah, it was. His. Hold on, I got it right here. Yeah, he was doing Shakespearean theater. Yeah, exactly. He was.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a director's cut. I just got the special edition. I collect a lot of these movies because I do plan on kind of like having them in my family, basically. But like, there's a director's cut of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves that is specifically just more Alan Rickman scenes in the castle. I'm not even kidding. Like, that is
Is it like
literal-
deleted scenes that they just put back in?
I watched it. It's just like a lot of manic raving in the castle, and it's so fucking good. It's almost like vignettes to the degree that it's in it. So that's a kind of a joy.
Yeah.
My most recent dad movie that I finished last night was The Arrival with Charlie Sheen. You
Oh,
guys
that's a
fucking-
fantastic movie.
so good and very bad. Very like corny, schmaltzy dad movie. It's basically like Contact on cocaine, where like Charlie Sheen is the sweatiest any person has ever been in any movie like ever. I just got the new re-release. They remastered the 4K. It's
Oh,
gorgeous.
nice.
The sweat on this man is fucking like I would love to make a YouTube video that's just talking about the different layers of fly sweat that he goes through in that movie. But it's basically Contact, but with like more of a conspiracy thriller vibe. That's just a great dad movie that like, you know, we're gonna have to make these decisions, and I'm just trying to figure out what are the good dad movies. Like Pitch Black, I think is a pretty solid dad movie from our era. Face Off, definitely.
Face Off.
is-
To this day, I think that's the movie. So that really gave birth to what we know as Nick Cage now. I really think that's the one.
definitely.
Specifically, the scene where he, like, right in the beginning, right when he's the priest and he's just like feeling up the choir. I'm just like, this is the
Right off the bat, that scene.
yeah. It's like,
of him
and he's
as
just
the
he's like
priest.
looking up at the sky, just like ah, like it's
Dude,
that
it's so
movie.
good.
The scene. I want to take his face off. No more drugs for that man. That's another one. Honestly, there's like, I just feel like the late '80s, early '90s, just the '80s and '90s. It's just the greatest dad movie era. Obviously,
Yeah.
you have your Terminators, your Rockies. That was another one that used to have a marathon every year around some. It was always around my birthday in the summer for some reason, which is weird because my birthday is a month after 4th of July, and you'd expect them to be like, yeah, Rocky, America, 4th of July. No, my birthday is literally exactly a month away from it, and they would always play it, and then they would stop. They'd be like, and then Rocky 4, and then nothing happened after that. It just stopped after 4. There was never a 5th movie. Actually, I still find it funny to this day that even the 6th movie ignores the 5th movie completely. It doesn't explain shit either. It's just like, yes, he was rich and he fought a Russian and now he owns a restaurant. And it doesn't explain how he lost like hundreds of millions of dollars that he had, or whatever.
Are you talking about like the Force Awakens Rocky movie, like the first one where he's super old?
So it was the Rocky Balboa.
The reboot. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So they completely ignore the 5th movie, like flat out. But they can't ignore the fact that he went broke in the 5th movie. So
right.
he just owns a restaurant now and doesn't explain. They don't explain, because like if you were to watch the 4th movie and then go right to the 6th movie, it's like, didn't he have a huge house and a robot and shit? Like where'd that all go?
Yeah, the
I was
robot.
gonna say, dude, how much mileage they could have gotten out of the Happy Birthday Polly robot being in the background of a scene in Rocky Balboa, just like dilapidated, obviously hasn't been turned on in 20 years. It's got like a beer can in its hand. That would have fucking sent me. They needed to.
Has anybody actually seen the recut of Rocky 4?
No, I've heard about it.
I thoroughly suggest it. So
They cut the robot.
I just want to acknowledge some of the chat here. Because Joshua Roberts been going off about a lot of stuff. It's one of the reasons we are living in a universe without our original Berenstein Bears. Which here we go. Rocky 5 is a time anomaly that helped fracture the time space continuum. It really is. It was Rocky 4. I've always said this. It's a fun movie. It's entertaining as shit. But if you actually look at it from through a critical eye, like actually look at the script and a lot of the stuff, and the structure, it's not a good movie. It's not well done. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy watching it. But when they went back and redid it so basically what they did was they recut it in a way. They took out the robot, might I add. They took out a lot of the goofier elements.
Huge mistake.
The robot was very very divisive robot out there, but it's the second.
That's what that man from Philadelphia, my hometown, would have had in his mansion if he became hood rich from fighting.
I do feel like people from Philadelphia would have
character building.
But so they recut it in a way that even the beginning. So like when Apollo's fighting in the beginning, he puts up a better fight. Because in the theatrical cut, he just gets punched like 6 times and dies. And it's just like, okay, at least they actually show more of a fight. I think they actually show like 3 or 4 rounds of it in the recut, and they take out a lot of the goofier stuff. They take out a lot of the montages and actually show you character development, which that was what was missing from the original movie. The unfortunate Chopper. Yeah, I mean. It was I hate that because it was like the boxer equivalency of fridging. Like what was it, the Worf effect? We have to show the guy that once was like the best. We have to show that he gets his ass kicked so we can show how good this guy is. And it's
yeah.
I suggest, but yeah,
if they took out the montages, that's like half the film. That montage,
yeah, that was the thing is, and
7 montages.
No, there are still some of the montages, but it's not all of them. Like there was a lot of the montages were cut up from scenes from clips from longer scenes that didn't get used, and also then obviously stuff from the past. But there was a lot of longer scenes that never got used that just got cut up because they wanted a quick 90 minutes in and out. I suggest anybody who likes Rocky to go check out that version.
That sounds cool. I would like to see it, but it sounds like they ruined it because the robot.
I mean, what you do is it's Actually, it's funny because I think it seems Rocky 4 is the one that fractured the space time because there's two different versions of the movie, and yeah, the fifth one doesn't exist. I think the worst part of watching Rocky 2 for me was basically knew the whole time. Thing was just culture. Thing just from cultural osmosis. So I don't know how old you are, Jay Jameson, but it's funny because I remember as a kid I had seen all the movies and I kind of part of me forgot that he loses more fights than he wins in these movies. I was just like, yeah, Rocky wins all the time. He's actually no, he loses a lot, and I think that's one of those things that people forget. There was no purple space bazooka in Rocky 4. There should have been.
Yeah, the first it kind of after two, the movies after that combine one and two. So the first one is a loss, the second one is a win, then 3 is a loss and a win, then 4 is a loss and a win, then 5 is there's never a boxing match.
Fun fact about the fifth movie that the final fight was choreographed by professional wrestling legend Terry Funk. I don't know if anybody knows that. And if you go back and actually watch it, you can see the pro wrestling influence in it. Yes, yeah, he lost in the first movie. But anybody else have any other movies they want to talk? I just want to talk about old shit all of a sudden. I'm just like,
Yeah, since you've completely skipped me in all my dad movies.
Go on. I'm sorry. I got really into Rocky 4 there for a second.
Yeah, so I'll be quick about it. Top Gun, definitely one.
Yeah.
Predator has been mentioned by others. As I said before, Jaws and Shawshank Redemption are both. For some reason, my dad really liked Star Trek: The Voyage Home. That's the one with the humpback whales.
Yeah, that's number.
I mean,
4.
He liked all Star Trek movies, or pretty much any science fiction movie he really liked. But for some reason, he had a real affinity for that one. Same with all the original Star Wars movies. He never saw Phantom Menace. He wanted to see Revenge of the Sith with me and my brother, but he was too sick to see it, unfortunately. The Indiana Jones movies, obviously. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? The Outlaw Josie Wales, which is a Clint Eastwood Western. He was a big fan of all 70s era Clint Eastwood movies. And then oddly enough, Pearl Harbor, which I say that because that was one of the few movies that we all saw as a family, and he was very adamant about going to see it in the theater because it was advertised as a big special effects movie at the time, so he was really wanted to see that. So yeah, those are probably all the ones that I would associate with my dad the most.
I wouldn't say Rush Hour doesn't. I don't think of dads but then again, we're all of the age where that would have been a little bit after our fathers. I think the Rush Hour movies. Those could be our dad movies, honestly. Like those could be our
Rush Hour, definitely.
I mean, I'm not. It's not ones that I associate with that generation.
No, that's close.
It's not that they wouldn't have seen them. It's not like they were like in old folks' homes and they weren't seeing Rush Hour. But I'm just saying, like, it's not one that I associate with my dad or anything. But that's one of those ones. That's a trilogy that's pretty solid. Chris Tucker had 2 trilogies that just worked start to finish, and that's one of them.
Getting triggered. Is that my baby?
Well,
No, that's mine.
it's like I heard you're talking about dad stuff.
I'm like, oh god, no. So I've been thinking about it this whole time, guys. I've been thinking about it, and I uncovered a memory, which for me is pretty much just equals trauma. Of like the only movie that I can even think of that I saw with only my dad in theaters. I was in Boston. We were visiting my grandmother. She was telling us for the first time that she had Parkinson's. It was a really dark trip, and we had one extra day. And I was in my like film bro high school like emo darkness phase, and my dad was like, "What should we see?" And I like looked at what was playing at the local theater in Boston. He was like, obviously wanted to be cheered up, I think, considering the circumstances. But anyway, I took him to the first Saw movie, and we did really enjoy it. It was a lot at times, but we both liked the twist, and I do remember enjoying the first Saw movie with my dad, which I made him watch.
Here's a good question, because obviously I think everyone's going to say the first Lethal Weapon is better than Rush Hour overall, but
Absolutely.
I think the Rush Hour movies as a complete like trilogy, because like the 3 and 4 of Lethal
Still
Weapon
good.
are still good, but there's a huge drop off from 1 and 2.
No, I'm saying Rush Hour. The other Rush Hour
Oh, and
movies are
Rush
also
Hour, yeah, but like Rush Hour 2 and 3, I actually think are in some ways better than the first movie. So
they're pretty good.
I think maybe as the totality of a franchise, Rush Hour might actually edge it out only on consistency, because there is a huge drop off in the second half of the Lethal Weapon quadrilogy.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, have the Lethal Weapon movies aged well?
The the
I
first
haven't
one I think
watched
is timeless.
one.
I think it's I think the first one's very time. I think the second one is kind of it it, it,
It's very
it
dated.
it's
The second one
dated
is.
because
I would assume
the
Rush
whole thing
Hour
is
is also very dated though at this
I
point.
think you
I
have to
haven't
explain a
rewatched that
lot
in a
about
while.
South Africa for the second one to make sense to someone who's like younger now, whereas Rush Hour, you're just like, yeah, China's pretty much still the same. So it's like,
It is the obviously Lethal Weapon 2. It is funny to watch a bunch of actors who aren't South African try to do a South African accent.
well, because the
That's
South
always
African
fun.
accent is ridiculous. It
Um,
sounds like someone with a Bostonian accent tried to sound Australian. It's
Yeah.
that's
but yeah,
I
as Ian Mandrill said, it ends with the greatest uh,
it's been
line
revoked. Yeah.
line and pun ever.
Yeah.
Diplomatic immunity. It's just been revoked. It's,
That is, yeah. I mean, the first and second Lethal Weapon, fantastic. I don't even remember the third one actually.
yeah, what
Someone
happens in
remind
the
me about the
third one?
third one.
Was there a fourth Lethal one?
The fourth one had Jet Li in it.
Oh right, okay,
Doesn't the
that's the one
third
that
one
with Chris
had
Rock.
wasn't
Uh,
it? It was the cops or something, right? That were killing people. They had those like special bullets that were like armor piercing bullets in the third
Yeah,
one. That was the one with Rene Russo, and he cut his
yeah. That
hair and
one.
yeah.
That one. Yeah, I don't even really remember that one. But all three Rush Hours, there's distinct moments I can recall. Yeah, that's a tough debate. Because a lot of people are automatically going to lean towards Lethal Weapon because it's just like the first movie's so legendary.
I didn't see Rush Hour 3 or 4, so I don't know.
I don't
The
even know
HBO
if
poster for Lethal Weapon. Nice. It's good to see you back in the chat, Miss Sparkles. Um, anybody have any other films they want to bring up? Because I'm actually enjoying this, kind of just reminiscing about stuff. If anybody has to go, it's fine. You can
it
go.
is like a
Like if
it is
Bobby, if you need to go tend to your child in the background, you can. It's
Yeah, she's having a little meltdown in the other room, so I might dip out in a couple
yeah, it's
minutes.
fine. We'll finish up here. A couple more,
I feel
and
like
then
a huge event dad movie was Apollo 13. I felt like that was like a huge
yes.
event.
Yes, hundred
Well,
percent.
that was the peak of Tom Hanks too. So
Oh yeah.
No, you still got to get through Saving Private Ryan and all that other stuff. What are you talking about? The peak of Tom Hanks? Come on
It was
now.
like it was a one peak, one
well,
valley.
I mean, the peak of Tom Hanks was much larger than most actors' peaks. So,
That doesn't. Then that becomes a plateau. Make up your, figure it out. Get your
no,
geological terms
it's just
correct.
it's a very large peak. It's not a
Get your
plateau because
geology correct.
no, it does
Figure,
come down at a certain point. So it's just it's
Castaway similarly was like a huge event movie where like it was like a culture moment for sure, which I don't know if people like realize that from the younger generation that movie was like a huge deal for a while. Like everybody was talking about the volleyball, everybody was watching Castaway.
so like I
That was
mean
a
I think that this was like I would say that the peak of Tom Hanks' career was like 93 to 98, and that's like right or 2000 when Castaway was pretty much. But yeah, you have right in there. You have Sleepless in Seattle, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, Toy Story, That Thing You Do. I don't even know this one. It's a television film. That's why. Saving Private Ryan, and then it kind of dips off a little bit for a little bit because you've got Mail, Toy Story 2, then The Green Mile, and Castaway. So you have That's definitely his that like
I
4
mean,
year stretch
is
is
it
at
a
his
hot
peak of his
take
career.
to say that
That's
I
two
think
two Academy Awards right there.
is it a hot take to say that I don't think that Tom Hanks was particularly good in Saving Private Ryan, and I don't think that like he was
He
like
has like 3 really legendary scenes, and I think that's all you really
wasn't
needed for
like.
that movie.
But what I'm saying is like Adam was saying, oh, like the peak around Saving Private Ryan. I don't think that that was like the hot streak moment for him at all. That was kind of like his first elderly statesman role that began his like latter career. That's kind of how I see
Well,
Saving Private Ryan.
I was saying the peak goes up until Private Ryan.
Now we're talking Apollo 11. What is it? 18.
13.
13.
Apollo 13. Hanks, bro. That's a hot Hanks.
Sure.
I don't dislike Toy Story 2. It's just not as good as the first movie. It's just it's not. It's
Ooh, I do
fun.
love Story 2.
I'm
That's
Toy
gonna
Story 2 has some really
I'm
fun
gonna
moments.
jump off,
Specific-
guys.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
Bobby.
sorry. Yeah,
No problem.
this is a meltdown going on in the other room. So I'll talk to you guys later.
Catch you later, brother.
Later.
Toy Story 2 was the one that they actually showed Zurg. So like that was the evil
Epic.
Emperor Zurg shows up. And so it's
I loved Wayne, what is his name? Wayne New what was his name?
Wayne Knight.
Wayne Knight, yeah. He played
Oh yeah,
Newman.
Wayne Knight.
Newton.
So
No,
good.
I think you were saying Wayne
the old
Newman.
singer. His character in Toy Story 2 was also great.
The
I
Chicken
think
Man.
maybe
The Chicken
a
Man.
better villain than the next door neighbor boy for sure.
Well, I've always said this that Sid is not a villain. They portray Sid in the first movie as he's just a kid having fun.
They terrorized that boy.
But that's what I'm
Terrorize
saying.
him.
It's like from now. Obviously, we're looking at it from like as viewers of the movie. We're looking at it at the perspective of these sentient toys.
Yeah,
But he
that's
doesn't know that they're
terrifying.
alive. He just
That
thinks
is
he's
That's just
But-
Puppet Master. It's
Yeah.
just horrifying if you think about it from any other point of view than being with the toys.
Sure.
Horrifying.
I mean, Sid played with his toys very much the same way my younger brother played with his. I mean, he didn't own a truck or a car that he didn't immediately smash with a hammer. So it's
but
just
the question that
it's
we
the way he
really need
played
to
the
ask
toys.
ourselves, the question that you really need to grapple with is if Sid knew that the toys were sentient, would he still have been torturing them?
Right. I
and
guess
I'm
that
not
is-
sure he would because he
I'm not sure.
well because after they like they do that to him, he's in the third movie. A lot of people don't realize that he's in the third movie. He's the
What?
garbage man. He's
not
the
really.
Really?
no, he is.
It's
He
a,
is.
It's a fan theory.
It's not a fan theory. It's really
It
him.
is a fan theory.
He's right there.
Wow. Is this on the forums or what?
Oh.
Remember,
Wow. Okay, I need to look into this.
but I think the real question is after he realizes the toys are alive, or I should say, if he wasn't torturing toys, would he be torturing animals? That's the real question that needs to be answered. So Hopefully
Maybe.
not.
I mean, that's how they portray it almost. Like he's a serial killer torturing like his pets. I don't know.
Actually, he has a lot of respect for his dog. He literally brings toys home for his dog to play with. Like he's not like
Right?
like he
He's like a
goes and
responsible
drops a
dog
bunch
owner.
of quarters trying to win squeaky toys for his dog. Like I think Sid is a very misunderstood villain. Just not the
Like
more we talk about it.
hashtag Sid did nothing wrong? Question mark.
Like yeah, he really didn't. I mean, if anything, he was just kind of a douche. He was kind of a shit brother. That I will give you that because he would take his sister's toys and fuck with them.
I like
Yeah.
Miss Sparkle's comment. Dark is showing that he can relate to a psychopathic murderer of toys.
I can. Yeah,
I
this
can
is. I
too.
think
I'm
this is what was.
starting to see
I've
it.
always said this is what was missing. Like
Yeah.
if they would have had
Yeah.
a scene where Sid was bullying Andy, that would have changed.
scene.
That's the one kind of. I don't want to call it a plot hole. It's like the one pseudo issue with Toy Story is that the villain really isn't a villain. Whereas Wayne Knight's character in there's a big ass spider on my fucking wall. Hold on, I'm gonna kill this
That's Wayne
motherfucker.
Newton to you.
I killed a big ass spider. Good.
Nice.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Die, you spider bastard. I will not be. I will not get powers today. Anyway, uh, like at least with Wayne Knight's character, he steals something from he steals Woody, from the so there he does something bad. Now it's obviously, and then he gets his up come up. I don't even remember what was the third one. Oh, it was the daycare.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Right.
was, and that was with the douchebag fucking teddy bear Lotso or whatever.
I feel like the only bad one was the last one. Was that 4? Like 4 was so forgettable.
It
I
just
didn't see it.
4 was not necessary. It had moments that were okay in a
3 was
vacuum.
bomb. 3 was really good. Made everybody
Yeah,
cry.
4 had moments in a vacuum that were okay, like what was it? Keanu Reeves' character, the action figure, that was pretty funny. Or like he was like the Daredevil character, like
That
he
was
was yeah, like there was some pocketed moments that were pretty funny, but it wasn't
I saw
necessary.
a trailer for 5 that went pretty deep into the details of it, like being about an iPad and about technology and distraction and yada yada yada. I don't think I need to see this movie. I don't think I'm ever going to see this movie. It just feels like it's going to make me cringe and want to die, and I just don't want to see them talking to an iPad, like a leapfrog iPad. It's just like I don't know. I get the angle, but the trailer, the scenes in it, and the dialogue in it was so like
Duke
oh my
Kaboom. Sorry to cut you. Duke Kaboom was the character. That was it.
God. That was a great character.
It is ironic that the movie is going to be about toys being replaced by an iPad, and
Yeah.
parents will just show this movie to their kids on their iPad. So it's kind of fun.
There
It's
is
also
actually one huge plot hole in the first movie that a lot of people have brought up over the years since we're talking about Toy Story. It's funny because I didn't even intend on bringing this up, but I guess it makes sense that we're talking about it since the movie's coming out this week. There is a huge plot hole in the first one. So Buzz doesn't think he's a toy. He thinks he's the real Buzz Lightyear. Like that's a established, in the first movie. Then why does he stop? Why does he go to toy mode when Andy shows up? Like if he doesn't believe he's a toy, that's like the one plot hole.
Does somebody say to him like, "Be cool"? Like,
No, they never do that. They're just like it's just a small. I don't think they realized that they put that plot hole in there when they did it. It doesn't it doesn't destroy the movie.
I always thought it was because he thinks he's on an alien planet, so he's just
So he
doing
plays
what
dead
everybody
in the middle of open
well, he's
field.
doing what everyone else is doing because there's a giant. He's surrounded. Other than the toys, he's surrounded by giants. He doesn't know where he is.
I mean,
And
I
see
can
it,
accept that
like,
I can accept that as a justification.
I see it as more of a body horror thing where the toys are hardwired to literally go into a catatonic state when the eyes of a child grace them.
Well, but that would imply that there's a factory that's making sentient toys that basically have Manchurian Candidate shit built in. Like if a kid looks at you, you effectively die.
That's the plot for Toy Story 6.
Yeah, there you go.
And the plot for Small Soldiers a little bit too.
Yes,
Another
actually.
classic gem. Joe
Oh, man.
Dante's very own Small Soldiers.
Small Soldiers was fun. That was a fun one. I
did like that
am
movie.
Archer, emissary of the Gorgonites.
I always
only-
wanted toys of them, and I feel like not enough.
I had
existed.
them. I had them. Oh, I only
Nice.
had a couple of them because my parents didn't have a shit ton of money, so they couldn't buy me every one of them. But I had one of the Commando Elite. It wasn't the one that was played by Tommy Lee Jones. It was one of the other ones. And I had Archer. They had them. It was just they were expensive.
The only thing
Dude,
I remember from that movie is Tommy Lee Jones's character saying, "I love the smell of polyurethane in the morning." I remember that.
The voice cast of Small Soldiers is fucking ridiculous. I mean, there's just so many people in there that are so good. Frank Langella as friggin' Archer was a pretty inspired choice. There's a lot of good ones. I think who else was in that? Like David Cross was like in the live action. Excellent.
Yeah, David Cross. Yeah, that was
Phil Hartman was part of it.
Yeah,
yes,
Phil
yes.
Hartman.
That wasn't
I
that
think that was his
probably one
last
of the
movie,
last
I believe.
movies that Phil Hartman did before he died. Then I would assume.
I think it was his very last one, actually.
Great choice.
Let me see. I'm gonna look it up because he was died in like the late 90s, like 98, 99. So that would have been right around when.
I think Kirsten Dunst, isn't it?
Yes, she's the like love interest who has all the Barbies.
Jay Moore.
Small Soldiers was his second to last movie, and it was posthumously released and dedicated to his memory. The only thing he had after that was a voice over for a direct-to-video movie. So it was his last live action role.
He's pretty great in it. He's doing his thing in it, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Hartman. That's always a tragic story when you were
That's the worst.
because with certain actors, I kind of wonder had things gone differently. You know what would have happened to that? Like obviously the easy ones to do are the Chris Farleys of the world and stuff, but like Phil Hartman, Chris Farley OD'd, so it's like he did it to himself. Like Phil Hartman was literally murdered. So
crazy. It's still so crazy to hear about.
He's my all-time favorite SNL cast member. The very first Saturday Night Live episode I ever saw, he was. They used to do. I guess they still do it now. Like fake commercials.
Yes, I love me a fake commercial.
And he was always kind of like the newscaster guy or the commercial guy because he had that voice. He could do that voice. And they did a fake commercial for Monster Spray, which is a spray that kids use on their doors to keep monsters out when they're asleep.
My favorite scene, my favorite one that he ever did was he was playing the Charlton Heston role for Soylent Green, but it was all the failed sequels to Soylent Green.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was like Soylent Green 2, Soylent White, which was paper, Soylent Cow Pies. It was like all these things.
On the Simpsons.
I love the unfrozen caveman lawyer from SNL.
Yes. Unfrozen.
That's like one of my favorite sketches with him where he's like talking to the jury. He's like, I'm just a regular caveman. He's like, I have a small brain that does small things. It's just like such a crazy. He went for it so hard on that show. It's just
he was also a big part of probably one of the best sitcoms of the late '90s. Sadly, short-lived because of his death. But News Radio was a show that I absolutely loved.
Yeah, it does so. He always every role he played. It's funny because he always had the same like weird kind of speaking pattern. Because he would hold like the ends of his sentences for extended periods of time, and it just worked for so many roles. It was I don't know. I just him, but my favorite. I mean, since we're saying favorite cast members from SNL, Norm Macdonald to this day is my favorite cast member from SNL. Oh, it probably always will be. I think he did the best Weekend Updates. Norm Macdonald. That's right, Frank Stallone. But didn't you have Movie Blues? Did you actually send me the picture for your the comment you wanted me to show? Because we could do that as our last thing. Let's send that to me.
Do you want me to resend it to you?
Yeah. Where did you send it? Oh,
over Discord.
Oh, here it is. Okay, I have it right here. Hold on. But what do you have I guess you could just tell us the context.
Oh yeah. I'll be ready to explain that.
Okay, hold on. Let me just save it real quick and then.
Is this the one that you showed me the other day, Dan?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This will be our last segment for the night because I knew this show was going to go all sorts of random directions, but
fun ones. Yeah.
I hold on. Where did it save to? I think it's saved. No. I don't know where to save to. Hold on. Maybe in this. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay. So first I have to play. I have to do this.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Thank God.
I am the master of the clit. Remember this fucking face. Whenever you see clit, you'll see this fucking face. I am the clit commander.
I haven't used this in a while. All right, you gotta give. Okay, so you got to give us the context on this because it's not very. It doesn't explain much.
I mean, I'm sure somebody could guess it, but yeah. So I made a video on my channel recently about Chris Stuckman in general, kind of his career downfall. all the embarrassing and stupid things he's done that have ultimately led him to selling gambling ads to children and just being a general sellout who made a really bad movie. So I pissed a lot of Stuckman fans off. It's been pretty brutal, just like reading the amount of weird, like bot-esque comments defending him. But basically, in the intro, I have this like montage of very dreamy, nightmarish clips of other critics roasting Shelby Oaks, and then I would cut to him, and he would be like drinking booze. It was like very dramatic music, very dark, like hallucinatory vibe. And at one point, I showed footage of the plane on 9/11 hitting the towers. And the moment that it hit the tower, I cut to the explosion logo of Chris Stuckman's YouTube channel.
That'll do
I'm
it.
sorry. Saying it out loud now, I don't feel great about it. But a lot of people had some solid reactions to it. But this was one comment that stuck out. I've not responded to, nor have I liked or disliked it. I was thinking about pinning it. Maybe not the best idea. But yeah, this was someone's comment on my video that had a 9/11 edit in it, and
My
that's
dad was on that plane. It's
now we've discussed like whether or not it would be funnier if this was a troll. I'm not sure. It would definitely be less tragic, but yeah.
my guess is it's a troll because it doesn't come off as like I feel like if this was a real person bringing it up, they'd be like, "Hey, that's distasteful. My dad was on that plane." This is just like
I
this
don't
almost
know.
like this comes off as someone trying to brag that their dad was on the plane. My dad was on that plane.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I've looked at it sometimes and thought like, wow, it's a really traumatized person. That's like the most they could even bring themselves to say. Like, and that says everything. Like, if that person's dad was on the plane, they don't need to write a big paragraph. They could literally write that, and they knew it would be just like cut straight to the heart. So I don't know. I'd say it's probably a troll, but it's a hell of a comment. It's definitely haunted me.
Tony Down Under. I want to get you on, but I know it's like it's rough because you're down under. But we'll figure it out. Australia and their backwards toilet water. Fucking. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much tapped out. This was a fun stream, just shooting the shit about random stuff. But as they say, all good things must come to an end, and that always comes with a time to plug your shit. This is when you tell us where you are, where you've been, where we can find you, what you're doing next, whether or not you're getting off of this chair and actually making a fucking video with your beer gut and balding. It's up. That's who? What? Huh? Let's start with Review Bomb.
So you can find me on YouTube. Just search Review Bomb, and I'll be the first thing that you see. Still rocking the the SEO in that regard, and you will see all you will see all of my great videos that people may or may not watch at any given time. Who knows? My very next video, I'm not sure what it is going to be about. I'd have to find a movie to talk about. I think I'm going to actually do something on either the Twilight Zone or the old Alfred Hitchcock Presents show, which I've been watching on free Google TV, which I really like. But and I'm currently working on my definitive review of Batman Returns, and it is turning out to be a behemoth. I'm typing so much about this movie, but I hope that when it's over and it's finally posted, the 6 to 10 people who regularly watch my content will really like it. So that's what I'm working on.
I'm actually curious because, like, I've always been of the belief that there's a lot wrong with, like, a lot of people say Batman Returns is great. I'm like, there's a lot wrong with that movie, but I've never been able to put my finger on every little bit of it. So I'm hoping that you might be able to do that for me because I haven't watched it in a long time. I'm still a big fan of the original Michael Keaton Batman. But there's just so many things about Return that just went in weird directions that I was never a fan of. I do want to highlight this comment before we move on to Movie Blues. My dad was on that plane. The only solace is that he never actually saw Shelby Oaks.
Hell yeah, dude. Speak your truth. That's 100% agree with that.
So Dan, what you got coming up?
What do I got coming up? I am finishing another 15 found footage hidden gems. I've just been stuck on that because I have seen several movies now in theaters and have decided to do reviews on none of them after doing Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm pretty much just like tapped out on making regular
Yeah.
movie reviews of things I fucking hate. So I just haven't done it. And on my channel, I do a lot of like niche horror and found footage recommendations, and also takedowns of people like Chris Stuckman and things like Alien Earth. So if you like what I'm selling, you type the movie blues in. I don't know if I'm the first thing that comes up. Probably not.
I
But
think you are, but also I subscribe to your channel, so it might be affecting my algorithm in that sense.
Yeah, you got to search in incognito mode.
Yeah. Well, no, I can't. Well, I don't. There's no incognito mode in the YouTube app, so I'd have to do it on my computer here. I'll figure it out backstage. We'll find out. As for me, I'm going to make my return to video reviews with Supergirl because I have a lot that I
yes,
want to say, and most of it has nothing to do with the actual movie. It has to do with
really.
the advertising. It has to do with the fact that they chose one of the worst iterations of Supergirl to use, the general direction of the DCU in general, and how they've basically botched it at every level. But it's all going to be framed around Supergirl and the plot, which I'm expecting to be garbage. But who knows? Maybe I'll be shocked. Probably not. After that, I'm not sure of anything between then and Lanterns, but like I'm trying to save my energy because I plan to really go hard on Lanterns. Being a huge Green Lantern fan and hating everything I'm seeing from that. So over the
Oh
course of
boy.
the next 2 months or so, you'll get a bunch of videos from me. Um,
Hell yeah, dude. I'm
but
excited.
yeah, I'm biding my time. I'm resting.
I keep
I'm like
forgetting Lanterns is even coming out.
I'm brumating. I'm like a snake just waiting to strike.
I feel like I'm in the same mode where like I
Yeah.
am waiting until I see a really juicy meal, and then
Yeah.
I will be seeing Supergirl, so maybe that'll be it. Maybe that'll piss me off enough to actually do something about it. I'll have to see.
Yeah. But other than that, it just leaves me to thank my co-host who left already, my guests, Movie Blues, and seemingly weekly guest Review Bomb, who will be getting. I'm going to get all these guys into the new intro. We're working on a new intro, guys. Don't worry. I have a great
Okay.
spot for Review Bomb. And of course,
Is
thank
it
the
going
chat.
into the World Trade Center?
No, it's not going into the World Trade Center. I'll explain backstage. Um,
All right.
off a little bit, but to thank my the chat and those who super chatted and or joined as a member. Love you all, and tits out.